Hello, this is Anna Ammann with SAP Marketing. I'm here with Sumeet Singh, the Director of Product Management for Cloud Services and Hadoop at Yahoo. Hello, Sumeet.
Hello.
So you're here today as part of the Technology Services Conference at the SAP campus. Can you tell me a little bit about what your presentation was about?
Yeah, so it was essentially about how big data plays a crucial role in the cloud at Yahoo. And then we discussed how the big data landscape has done a lot for Yahoo, the ways we make sense out of data, the way we actually use our cloud systems to serve those insights that we derive from data and return that value from those insights back to our consumers and advertisers. And then we also discussed where things are headed, where do we see them going.
So what are some of the ways that a typical user is going to see the results of your cloud services and use of technology?
So we collect a lot of data and we return the value from the insights that we generate out of that data in the form of personalization to our users. So we personalize every piece of content that we serve to users, because we are interested in serving only the pieces of content, the data that the user is interested in seeing. And if I can do that successfully, so for example, if you're thinking about something like it's spring season, right? And I know that you were a homemaker and you were interested in gardening. And if I can serve you articles around gardening and what to do, how to do spring cleaning, things that you could do in your backyard, and then I can pepper that with advertising that are all these home improvement stores related or gardening related, I have one both for my consumer and for my advertiser.
That's a great example. How are other industries leveraging this kind of technology in their enterprises?
Yeah, so we see the use for this technology across all verticals. We see the use in genetics, in curing disease that we couldn't do before. We see uses in sort of newborn babies and making sure that they're healthy. People have seen uses in stock markets and finance around this. There are use cases in construction. I mean, almost every sector, every vertical is using the technology to do things with big data that they couldn't do before.
So how does a company know that they should be thinking about this? It sounds like every industry is being impacted by the ability to capture and leverage data. What would your advice be to companies that may not have considered this yet?
Yeah, think about the types of data you have today that you haven't given enough thought to. Also think about the types of data you could bring in that you were not bringing in or thinking that were useless, right? Some of these could be as simple as logs, machine logs, or web server logs, or information from devices that you didn't capture before. And once you have thought through what types of data is available to you, there are other ways to get this data. There are ways to harvest data. There are ways to buy this data. There are many different things you could do around the types of data that may be interesting to you, be it your own data or be it data from third-party sources, or like things like Social Graph, things like Twitter Firehose. You could get data from. Once you have this data, then you will think of very interesting things you could do based on the business you are in, right? So, for example, if you are a retail store, point of sales data is interesting to you. And if you were not making use of that data, I think you were letting go a lot of good percentage in margin improvement or sales or revenue improvement that you didn't think about before. So critically look through the types of data you already have, types of new data that you could acquire either yourself or from third parties or in partnerships, and then finally making sense out of all of that in terms of applying the insights that you could derive from data back into your business and how you improve your business.
Great. That was very interesting, and thanks for taking the time with us today, being here at the conference.
Thank you.
Thank you.